Hey folks, it's Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building over at Little Caesars Arena, home of the Detroit Pistons, getting ready for the Pistons taking on the Phoenix Suns. But we got some other great things happening in the community today. It's the MPHC as well as HBCU night, and I'm here with the person who has his fingerprints all over it, the Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion with the Detroit Pistons, Mr. Stefen Welch. How you doing?
I'm doing well, brother. Good to see you.
Homeboy from Detroit,
yes,
West
sir.
Side, the
West
boys
Side.
high school.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Shout him out. Shout him out.
Sir.
And giving credit to Cletus Lewis Jr., and I want to thank him for bringing me in to be able to talk with you. But he said this is a major undertaking in comparison to years past. So talk about you coming in and really blowing up the spot in a great way.
You know, it's been an amazing team effort. I've been so happy with the amount of folks who I've been able to collaborate with this, from ticket sales to partnerships to marketing, game presentations. The list goes on and on. We receive some amazing feedback. People will hear me say all the time, feedback is a gift, right? And so last year,
even when you may not want to hear what
it is, you may not want it, it's still a gift, right? It's a responsibility on how we deliver it, but it's still a gift.
Right.
And so, you know, we receive some feedback from people that say, hey, here's some ideas on how we can take this to the next level. Our external community said that, people from HBCU, people from the Divine Nine. And we say, yo, that's dope. Let's utilize it.
Sure.
And so that's exactly what we did. We had meetings. I believe I got here in April. Those meetings started maybe in June, and we continued to have meetings to say, hey, this is what we're thinking about. What are your thoughts? Right. And so we've taken it to the next level. So we're extremely excited about that.
Yeah. What is something that you've noticed that people wouldn't get about what it takes to put together an event like this? What was an aha moment if you had one?
The logistics are mammoth, right? And so, you know, within the NBA, things move fast, and you got to continue to keep up. So not only are we planning this night, but there are a ton of other nights that we're planning. And so we just have to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to make people feel proud that we're doing this, but also to raise awareness, right?
Sure.
We don't just want to come in and say it's HBCU night and that's it.
Right.
We really want to talk about the community. What's the historic value of HBCUs, the legacy. The city of Detroit has a rich legacy and tradition with HBCUs, and we want to continue to utilize our platform to bring that to the forefront.
Yeah. Well, I represent both these entities. I spent my freshman year at Morehouse College. Shout out to my mom and
the house.
My mom. She got me down there. I still got lifelong friends to this day, but also I was able to join a fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So you are really welcoming my experience and that for so many others. So talk about the sense of pride that comes with someone being able to represent their HBCU or their Black Greek letter organization.
It's amazing, right? Within the Pistons organization, we have about 30 folks who either represent an HBCU.
30?
Yeah, who either represent an HBCU or are part of the Divine Nine.
Sure.
That's a tremendous amount of experience and innovation that we have that we can tap into and leverage. And so we've connected with that group within our organization as well and say, hey, is this something that connects to the experience? We wanted to bring the yard to Little Caesars Arena. That's literally what we're doing. Right now in the concourse, Central State's marching band, their drum line is playing right now in the concourse.
I saw them coming in. I said it's going to be a big time.
Yeah. We had a Divine Nine from Wayne State strolling right now in the concourse.
We're missing out on the party
right? We got DJ Had That Step, you know, on the ones and twos.
Yeah, sure.
And then after that, the Greeks are going to go back on the court and stroll again, right? And then, you know, Central State has put together a phenomenal halftime show for us that sort of captivates the legacy of Motown, right?
Oh, wow.
And so you have these young students, these amazing musicians who are 18 and 19 and 20 years old playing Motown music that was started in Detroit. That's amazing, right? That legacy is long, man. And so those inches are everywhere around us. We're enjoying what tonight is about.
The excitement you bring to your role, so many times people may present that way, but that's not really who they are. And talk about coming to this role and having this as your first big event, and where did you come from?
Yeah, I love this role, man. I've been saying all my life that I've been surrounded by amazing people, and I'm a product of my environment. My grandmother worked for the NAACP office in Highland Park.
Wow,
I saw Nelson Mandela speak at Tiger Stadium when I was a little kid, right? In college, I marched for affirmative action. I was the president of the Association of Black Students at Oakland University. Right, so I've been in this space for a long time. I just didn't know it was a career.
Yeah. You know, that's what you pay well for.
Exactly. And so, you know, I got a chance to do it with some amazing organizations. I was at one organization in the city of Detroit where I got tapped on the shoulder and said, Stefen, I need to build a team. I want you to lead it. And I have to create a strategy. I need your help on it. And so that's literally when I got my actual footing in this space as a professional. And then that morphed into doing work with Saxoff Fifth, which is based in New York. I got lucky and I was able to do it from Detroit. I was able to bring my Detroit swag.
That's a white collar, white glove type experience.
Yeah. It was amazing. It's amazing. I learned so much about the retail and fashion industry, and I still have some amazing contacts within that space that I still utilize and pick brains on as well. And so there have been times when I've collaborated with our merchandise team and said, hey, there's some things that we did at Saks. Let's try and see if we can utilize that. Or there's some things that I say to my old colleagues at Saks off Fifth. I'm like, hey, there's a vendor, there's a designer that we're working with. You all should check them out. They're pretty cool. And so continue to utilize the space. I mean, I love building bridges and connecting folks, and that's a big part of my job.
Yeah, I like what you said about picking others' brain. Let me ask you this, and I'm somewhat putting my sports psychology hat on. In the work that you do, how do you deal with those horrible headlines that we so often see that really bring you into the forefront? And how do you manage the emotional part of how you feel with having a job to do?
Yeah, I realize I have a job to do, but it's still, the weight of it is still heavy. So many times I talk to other DEI folks, and the first thing that we talk about is just how we're doing from a psychological standpoint. Because the weight of what we carry oftentimes is not only work that we represent others for, but it's work that represents who we are.
Yeah.
Right? So it's personal. But the first thing I do is typically I look at it and I focus on our people, right? Our employees, our team members. I try to figure out what they need at this moment. And typically, I'm able to get to a point where I can create messaging, I can make sure that we're okay, I can tap into resources that we have from an EAP and psychological standpoint.
What is EAP?
Employee Assistance Program. Okay. So we have resources that you may have if you're having a hard time dealing with coping with something.
Do people take advantage of that?
People take advantage of it. There's also a company that we utilize, a technology company that's app-based called Headversity that we utilize too.
Wow.
Which has been phenomenal for us. And so literally, I saw, some of the things that were going on with Tyree Nichols, right? And I watched it, and after that, I had to have my moment, right? Not only do I serve folks, but I serve myself as well. And so I had to make sure I was okay. And typically that's how I'm able to get through it. It takes me a long time. Once I finish the professional side of it, I have to get away. I have my own time because it's so heavy. And oftentimes I'm so upset by what I've seen and witnessed.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because so many times when we're the corporate entity, we think we have to have this gladiator mindset. I got to be strong. I got to get through. It's like, no, I need to fall back and check it out. You use the word phenomenal, and I think that's a great word to describe you. And the work that's going on, my brief time with you, and everything. Talk about a lasting message you can leave to share, so when we look back on this, we can say, hey, this was a great experience.
It's a great experience. One of the things I tell the people all the time is that, I'm here to serve. I'm here to listen. I'm here to represent you. I talk to my colleagues who may be interns, who may be junior level, entry level, and I call them boss. And they're like, why do you do that? I said, because I represent you. At the end of the day, I'm a voice for you, right? I represent your thoughts, your ideas. And so if you have an idea, whether it's about NPHC, APC Unite, how we utilize talent and diverse talent, how we interview, I always want to utilize that feedback and embed it to the work that we're doing, because the OJ said a bit best. You got to get the people what they want. I'm not going to create a DEI strategy without engaging with our entire employee base. When I started here, I had a goal to meet with every person within our organization. I came very close. I think I was like at 95%.
Wow.
But I wanted to hear from people. I wanted to talk about, their thoughts. I wanted to have a conversation about DEI and how it connects to the work that they do.
Right.
And so
and
now
educate
everyone
them on that too.
Probably. Exactly. So if you were to stop someone and ask them what our DEI strategy, they may not be able to say it verbatim, but they have an idea of what it is because they're a part of it.
Well, you're making an impact since he touched down in April to tonight. Hey, nothing but the best. I appreciate you being in this space representing us.
I appreciate that.
All right. With that being said, Lindsay Hudson with SPS, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.